Welcome back, friends, to Occultists Anonymous, sponsored by Roll20, The Onyx Path, and viewers like you. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon who support us monetarily, let us do all sorts of wacky, cool stuff, and yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys. Like, really. Thank you to Adele, Al, Alan Michael, Alexander, Algos, Bernie, Blood Angel, Brendan, Doc, Emil, Goofiel. Okay, I get it. I appreciate it. Jack, James, Jenny, John, Josh, Julian, Cat Feathers, Crazy Man, Melissa, Michael, Milo V3, Moku, Noba, Orange Turtle Without Jello. They're still here. Perry, Puppeteer, Ramon, Roivscribe, Ryan, Sebastian, Cinna, Serenus, Terry, the late Mr. Graves. Thank you. Thomas, Vortex, Weiss, Wyrd Goes Brrr, and Zoltan. Yep. If this is the first time you've watched
printing? What is Wyrd printing?
It says goes brr like the meme, you know? I don't know. That's all I got. Greg has a confused face.
Hey, still someone get it.
That must be a pretty deep cut.
The such and such goes brr. I'll send you an image for that one. The orange turtle.
I just don't know what it has to do with Wyrd.
Yeah. But yeah, the orange turtle without jello, no idea. So apparently it stays until someone gets it. So if you know what the heck they're talking about, feel free to let us know in Discord, Twitch chat, or YouTube comments. Thanks. Cool. When we last left the Cabal, what? Okay, sorry. When we last left
looking at the meme.
Oh, cool. Education. It's a mage thing. And actually, considering we are heading into somebody's soul today, that seems kind of appropriate. Internal memes. But yes, when we last left the Cabal, Atratus had been scolded for partying too hard and was told her penalty was to party harder. Or actually, more specifically, no, go fix those 3 poor sleepers who not only had a breaking point, but failed their breaking point so poorly they now have a permanent mental condition in terms of the gameplay mechanic. And so they need some help. And fortunately, between between Atratus having mind magic and has a legacy devoted to fixing people who have been mentally and soulfully harmed, it's kind of right up her alley. And so that was the penance that that was leveled against her. And Wyrd said, sure, I'll definitely go, because Wyrd likes you and Neros, and I believe the exact term was, there should be an adult in the room.
That was an accident.
wrong definition of weird. Songbird is like, yo, I got some other place to be. Network was like, hell yes, because mind magic, and Network is Investigos. Very true. For those of you paying attention, Songbird is not here. Network is. Now, of course, everyone's immediately looking at the
Friendship
chat overlay.
ended with Songbird.
Everyone's looking at the chat overlay, and no, it still says Songbird. No, it's just...
You didn't spruce it up for the one episode?
I legitimately thought about getting a clip of Network from Brenna's comic and just nudging it up in there. And
itty bitty one.
Yeah. But I realized, no, that's probably going to look really bad. And neither Amanda or Brenna would appreciate it. So, no. The people... I don't make things messy of the things that the people who make things messy. Yep. So yes, Network will be played by Songbird tonight, or excuse me, Chris. That was about to get really meta. And I believe we're also taking Q and Dreadnought.
I'm a dude disguised as a dude.
Yes. Underrated
taking
movie.
Our baby other phoenixes to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who, if I remember correctly, both of them are initiated at this point, right? Yeah. Okay. So they've met the Ebon Phoenix, but they haven't necessarily been down to the temple, if I remember correctly. Your order of operations for your newbie mages.
For these ones, they should have been to the temple already to get actually initiated.
Okay. Cool. Songbird is playing Chris, playing Acanthus, who plays Songbird. Nope. But also yes.
Yes.
So when the literal last thing we had done is collected a bit of hair from Leslie Booth, who Atratus had chatted with at a coffee shop. Noticed definitely seemed like she was not all together, was kind of in and out in the conversation. So Atratus bought her lunch and did the very nice thing of, oh, you have a hair here, pluck, 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 remove those and skittered off into an alley to tuck them away for Wyrd's use to generate a sympathetic connection. And that is where we kind of, fade off. So where do we pick up from here? And I imagine this is mostly going to be Atratus running this show.
From here, it's to get in, we'll need to follow a thought she's having. So we could either go back to the so you need to be in a hollow to do it too, right?
You need to be in a domain to meditate into your own Neuros, correct?
And then we can go from mine into the Temenos and then follow the links.
Yep.
Okay. So we can either go back to the I've lost the word, the sanctum, and put up a scry window and just sort of watch what she's thinking and then go from there, or we can try to give her a thought.
Both are pretty good options. Chat suggests having Titus walk by in a mascot costume. No.
She's already having a weird enough life. I think I like the idea of what is that?
The mind spell?
Yeah, to
2 thoughts, 1 mind.
No, that's the one that would let you talk to them in person, and then also
It allows you to potentially do 2 mental tasks at the same time. You had something else in mind?
I was looking for a mind spell to just direct her thoughts to something that we would know. That would be something more unique and easy to follow.
You could definitely do that with telepathy. If they were asleep, you could probably do it with mind reaching and just kind of nudge into her dream and, send her a dream of a very particular thing. And, kind of direct her dreaming that way. And that'll get her subconscious thinking about a thing, and you can try and come at it that way. And of course you have just the flat out telepathy and just sending messages into her head. Though that might verge on breaking points. Thinking through any other ones.
I wasn't trying to just put a voice in her head. Try to sort of find what she's thinking of and make her think of it more, sort of nudge an idea into an obsession, something stronger that we could really grasp onto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would your best bet then, if you're trying to be white glove, very kid glove kind of move, would probably be dream reaching and basically reach out to her through her dreams. And that's also something that you could cast while you're in while you're in the Temenos, technically. Find a nice little corner, and if Wyrd actually casts a scry from the Temenos. And also, this is, by the way, why you don't fuck with mages. Because they can do some insidious shit while you're sleeping. But yeah, you guys could open up a scry window, view on her, cast on her indirectly, or cast on her remotely through the sympathetic connection scry. Do I have enough layers here? In order to cast on her and influence her dream, and then once her dream is in the right place, jumping into the Temenos. Or going from the Temenos there.
Okay. We will do that then. Yeah, I just didn't know the right way to make that work. So
right order of operations, yeah. Cool. So because Chris reminded me beforehand, because we do have Network's character sheet in Roll20 now, but I can't remember. You buffed, was it just intelligence?
Let me check. No, I did 2. We were doing it 2 and 2.
Okay, 2 intelligence.
I did the social stats.
Okay, so persuasion and manipulation.
Presence, even?
Thank you.
Yes, I will tell you. I have enhanced skill +3 empathy, enhanced attribute +2 presence +2 manipulation.
There we go. And then, almost called him Jimmy. Network would have done the matching intelligence stats, so intelligence and wits.
Damn. Network's beefy.
Mentally, yes. Yeah.
I'm looking at a 5.54 once we go in there.
Yeah, his composure is legit.
That's wild.
Look at his
That's
willpower.
why I was asking.
Look at his willpower.
I saw.
You cannot get this man down, which is why he almost got in trouble with werewolves.
7 goddamn willpower.
My dog is screaming. What did he buff?
Persuasion and manipulation. Oh, excuse me. Intelligence and wits.
Is it plus how much?
+2.
+2.
Mm-hmm. Just to match yours.
Intelligence and wits. Nice. 5/5. Okay.
Cool. Righto. So without belaboring the point too much, I think we just need. Well, actually, Wyrd, you have the hair sample, which quick look at you can tell is a strong connection to her. It is literally from her, and it is. It's weird saying it this way, but it's fresh. And so you have a strong connection there. You could bump it up to connected if you wanted to, but that's an extra spell for basically an additional 1 potency.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's super necessary.
cool.
Also, we've got 3 space mages. Q is also Mysterium. I don't think they've got a Gregor.
Q does not have a Gregor, and does have space, yes. But Network is not exactly a space mage.
Don't make me do it.
he got that 1 dot. He does 2. Oh, that's right. Yes. His basic character sheet from when he was originally made, he only had 1. Picked up that 2nd dot, picked up
3 mind, 2 spirit, 2 space, 1 prime, 1 forces. A damn generalist over here.
A
little bit.
I think I gave Q 4.
Holy moly.
Yeah, mind is their weak spot. They've got the bare minimum they needed to get initiated.
Gotcha. I forgot. Let's see here. Are you not going to let me search with 1 single character? Nope, guess not. Hello, random phone call from Chicago, Illinois. Bet you're that same spam call over and over again. All right. Is Q in Conca?
I don't know, actually.
Oh, okay. I'm over here. I'm like, I don't remember seeing Q in here. That would explain why. Okay. I won't worry about it then. If Wyrd isn't necessarily casting Webweaver, it is simply a question of meditating into somebody's Oneros, probably Atratus's, and then journeying from there into the Temenos. A couple little things, just to be clear. We're going to be a little bit more based on the book specifically the one ebook. The Oniro stuff we did pretty okay. Excuse me, tomato stuff we did pretty okay. Thank you, Chris. The Oniro stuff we were way off, but nonetheless it was fun. So for this chronicle, that's how Mage Oniros is, whatever.
Oniroi?
Yeah. And Sleeper, however, are not quite so welcoming and open, and are a little bit more labyrinthine. So just a warning for those who are following along. Nero Tim. No, I don't think that's it. Thank you, chat. So quick meditation, which takes you guys either a turn or an hour. Not going to stress about it because at this point, I think Atratus' Oniros is pretty used to visitors, and probably has a pretty robust, waiting, the lounge. So exiting from your Oniros into the Temenos and kind of everybody linking arms and moving together. What is the thread, thought, whatever, that you are traveling out to head into the Temenos?
I mean, we don't know what we're looking for yet, do we?
Not necessarily. Now, of course, your thought is to look at what she's already dreaming about and trying to jump onto that, basically. Okay. Yeah. So in that case,
easy
you
enough
probably
for me to open up a vid window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you're just seeing what she's currently thinking about, that's going to be. Okay, I'm trying to be the good storyteller and let you fail if necessary. But just in order to find that connection between her Oniros and the Temenos, is going to have to be like serious thought that she'll have to be thinking about. Okay.
I was basically going to do a mental scan through the vid window to see what she's thinking of, and then try to enhance one of them. Just like take whatever slight passing thought you have in your brain and make it more of an obsession.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay, cool. Yes.
Before we dive in, Network would like to cast a spell.
Okay.
Sure, Network.
Referring to yourself in the third person.
I'm going to cast Borrow Threads.
From the hair.
From the hair. Because I don't think anyone did that, right? And we kind of need that.
You don't need to necessarily borrow the threads. You can just literally use the hair as a yantra.
Because you still have
Not
to
if you're going in.
Right, because you still have to have the connection yourself. Because your sympathetic casting is always from you along your sympathetic connections. Yeah.
So I, as Network, casting a space spell.
Do you feel dirty, Chris?
No, it's fine. I'm just playing it up.
Sure.
Okay, so I've got
Network.
Withstand. Okay.
Need one potency.
What's a strong connection?
Yep.
Withstand is the connection, so doesn't it?
Yeah, so you're manipulating it, so it's 3 because it's a strong connection.
Oh, 3, okay.
Yeah, the withstand you're talking about is the buffer because you're casting sympathetically. Because you're manipulating it, it's 3. So I'll have you all know that I was watching a streamer today, and they had an alert for spooky, scary skeletons. And it is stuck in my head all day.
It's the season.
It is, but...
What is the specifics of Network's shadow name?
Literally drawing on connections between people, so...
Oh, yeah, that seems pretty good, huh?
Yeah, that's a good one, yeah.
And then a high speech.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I think I can get 6. They're in the sanctum, right?
Yeah.
Got reach covered.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So
roll 5 dice. Good job, Network. We're so proud of you.
Indeed. So borrowing that thread, and Wyrd, are you doing so as well?
Making a copy.
Well, I was about
That's
to
okay.
queue it up. That's fine. If Songbirds or if Network's got it, that's fine.
I mean,
Well, I guess
both
actually-
of us having it is good.
Well, I realize actually because you have unlimited reach, you could actually do it with scale, and now everybody has a connection to her.
Good job.
Yep.
Good job, Network. What a way to think on your feet.
Yep. So yeah, with that, we come back to Atratus. Do you have? Actually, I guess at this point it's going to be on any of the 3 space mages now sitting in Atratus's Oneirus to cast a scry on her and begin keeping an eye out. And try to kind of watch what she's up to. Is Network still blind in the astral? No.
Would you not be?
It's all your mind, you know. And for me, because I actually anticipated that thought coming up, if you were born blind, you're probably still blind. Because that's just your natural state of being, and you'll still pick up stuff how you normally do. But for
Yeah, you'd experience the Temenos however you dream.
But in the
So
case
if you
of
have visual dreams, still, which people that are blind often do, they'll experience it.
So, someone pop up scry window.
I think that is what Craig is working on now.
Because once we are in her Oneirus, no more spells, yeah.
Every spellcast is a paradox risk. So it's as if a sleeper was observing. So yeah, you do have to be very careful with what you're casting. You can still do it. It's only causing paradox, not necessarily breaking points. So it's just a challenge, not necessarily a oops, we're going to make it worse. Releasing said paradox inside of a sleeper or Neuros, a lot worse.
Yeah,
But
honestly,
nobody
I'd
make a
rather
big.
not risk it because I already screwed up this girl, and I don't want to make it worse.
Yep. Now, bear in mind, of course, your attainments allow you to get away with some stuff a little bit more freely.
Like unlimited reach in. Yep.
Oh, actually.
Oh no, because
No.
you're in Atratus's.
Yeah, you're in Atratus's
okay.
soul. Yeah.
So 4-2, I still get free reach, right?
Because you have space 5, right?
No, space 4.
Space 4. So, it's a 2 dot spell.
2
Yeah.
dot spell. So 3 reach, so I'm still good.
Mm-hmm. 11 minus
15.
4. Yep.
1.
Wind up in the pit. Hey, there you go. Exceptional success, mana, condition, or I guess no reason to bypass withstand. You already know what the withstand is, and you've already got that covered.
I'll take a condition.
Cool.
I'm doing this from the point of view of helping my cabal.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, something related to that would be fitting.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that doesn't help me nail down a condition necessarily. I was thinking of a flat bonus somewhere. Actually, let's probably put it as investigation because that may actually find use within the within this journey. So yes, if trying to think, because you guys didn't spend a whole lot of time doing this because it's basically get the hair at lunch and then back to the sanctum to begin the process, I think. Okay. A lot of head nods.
I mean, I was figuring we would do this at night because we're trying to get it while she's asleep, yeah?
Mm-hmm. That works too.
to sort of reconvene in the evening.
Right. So naturally, the scrying, is, well, it's looking in at her sleeping, piled under like a big old blanket. 2 dogs are like nestled, and she's like bookended by them, and is passed out. Nothing particular of note. No creepy demons hovering over her head or anything like that. She doesn't crawl out of her skin. She's just asleep. Cool. And
That
Ash is casting
the mental scan queued up.
Okay.
I think I have the reaches right. It's I need 1 sympathetic, right? To cast it through the window.
Oh, 1 for remote casting, yes. So you need remote casting and then, sensory range, then remote casting. So those are 2.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Don't need to do it instantly. We can chill for like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need the extended reach for actual thoughts, not just scan, and duration.
Okay.
So it lasts more than a couple seconds.
Now, the one thing I want to ask real quick, because right now that's just a spell to, for the duration, pick up her thoughts. Do you want to go ahead before you roll and basically layer in a second effect of being able to nudge her thoughts? Because by default, the mental scan is just picking up what's going on. Mm-hmm. But if you do something like, I guess basically telepathy, or something similar, you could just apply a little nudge as well. What was that, Chris?
I have an idea for a spell. A creative thaumaturged spell.
Mm-hmm.
Want to conjunctively use space and mind to basically sort of like a locate object meets read the depths, to know what they're thinking about and how to get there. I want a quest arrow through the Temenos is the imago.
Right. No, I get it.
It would still need to be a strong enough thought.
Can I do it with 3-2?
It would have to be a big thought, and the big trick is, the big thing is in order for Leslie's Oneros to reach the Temenos, she has to be like really thinking on a thought, or having a big strong dream, because that's actually what causes some people to occasionally dream themselves into the Temenos, have these weird, and then duck back out. So that is a possibility.
If it's too big, that's fine. It was just a thought.
I'm trying to not say more because the Oneros of technically any person, but for a sleeper is really convoluted. So we'll get to that.
Okay.
But so back to Ash. Okay. Were you thinking of just having that little ability to nudge her thoughts too? Or
if I can wrap that in, it would be
just a -2 because you're adding a second effect. Okay. And effectively you're creative thaumaturging in this second effect. So I want to read her thoughts and be able to nudge them a little bit.
That would that make the reach worse? Because that's a 2-dot effect, telepathy is.
Oh, yes. Technically, yes, but bear in mind all spells in the... Actually, let me double check. Make sure I'm...
Well, you're in your Oneros, so you have unlimited reach.
I believe that is correct.
Okay. Then if that's how this works, we can just roll it up.
Yep.
With the numbers I got, -2.
Double check. It's only if they don't leave the confines of their own soul. Now, that said, you do have -2 penalty, 2 paradox rolls in the astral. So if you're overreaching by 1, you're rolling 1 paradox die.
Okay.
So let me roll that real quick. Nothing comes up. So you can go ahead and roll yours with that -2. The full
12
effect.
dice. 3 successes.
Cool. And Wyrd, Gnosis plus Fate for what?
Just want to see if there's anything funky about her fate.
It definitely looks actually, compared to most people that you've probably studied, she has a fairly narrow band of possibility compared to sleepwalkers and mages and werewolves and all these other supernatural beings, vampires that you studied. They have these wild possibilities. And she's a sleeper. She works as an accountant, and her way of putting life into her life is she goes to nightclubs. She got only a couple branches there, but overall, doesn't look like she has an exceptional destiny one way or another. Atratus, as your spell kind of, lashes out, that sounds aggressive, reaches out, and basically settles on her mind. The surface thoughts and kind of what she's dreaming about is very, very train of thought, stream of consciousness kind of stuff. But fears about work, getting let go, the economy. I want to buy a house really in New York. Maybe we should move. I don't want to move. Like, all my friends are here. I should get another dog. And it's just this constant, flow of stuff. And it feels like, she's not deep into like REM sleep. She's not on a like very set dream, though I may have that backwards. Do you not dream in REM sleep? Whichever. She's not actively like deep into a dream, but it's just kind of going along rambling thoughts.
So you're going to make her think about dogs more, right?
Yes. It's like, that's a good thing to think about, and I like it. So,
and that should be a fairly safe place in the Temenos.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, dogs. Yeah, you should get another dog. Think about it. What kind of dog do you want?
Cool. And bear in mind, of course, once this spell has cast, the scry window can go away, and you are kind of linked in, not quite telepathically. It's like a step below that. Actually, no, it's actually probably right at telepathy. Yeah. Just you're not shouting into the megaphone into her head. You're just whispering behind her head. Hey, by the way,
dogs are great. Yeah.
Dogs.
Here's all the different dog breeds. Which ones would you like?
Oh yes, cats. No cats. We're not a cat person. We're a dog person. Okay, cool. And with that, I need everybody. To get into the Temenos.
Link arms and Wizard of Oz walk.
More or less. Double checking. I don't think.
I just like the idea of being like on the front steps of my soul mansion and then just stepping off.
Yeah, or actually more specifically,
and hope your feet come down.
It actually is more stepping onto your astral path. And because you are taking the lead on this, everybody is traveling your astral path, which nobody else appreciates. Everyone thinks it's, backwards and weird. And because if I remember correctly for you, yours was the falling into yourself kind of thing.
I don't remember.
Yeah. And I mean, it may have changed now that you are an Ebon Phoenix with, at this point, whole months of experience.
Just scrawl, turn into a black phoenix and fly away.
Yeah.
I know that might have all been fairly simple and straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Where meanwhile, Q is kind of wussy. Like, come on, this isn't nearly flashy enough. But yes, you all kind of link arms, metaphorically speaking. Don't actually have to do it. Though I guess it's the astral. Everything is metaphorically.
We're already speaking as metaphorically.
So yes, you guys kind of make your way into the Temenos, and with Ash, with Atratus' guidance, we are honed in on lovable dogs, and you find yourselves kind of stepping forward, leaving the Oneros and into a absolute is cavalcade the right term? Let's go with carnival of dog show. This absolutely enormous dog show. Every breed imaginable is being displayed. People are walking by. Dogs are walking by. Dog people are walking by. It is just this, whole full, swarm of every kind of thought that's kind of bumped up into dogs or canines as lovable pets and stuff like that. And like you looking out, you can easily realize, okay, this is pets in general, and it definitely spreads like 3 or 4 rows down. It's like, okay, now we're talking about cats. Over that way we've got insects. Over that way we've got reptiles, and it's all spread out. But here you're basically seeing all these, for the most part, you all would recognize them as dream actors. They're rank 0 Goche that are just the crowd, the people. Somewhere in amongst, if you go looking, you might find some rank 1s who have a semblance of life and such like that. And then you'll have, somewhere in here, there's going to be, the lords and masters of all thoughts about pugs and all thoughts about golden retrievers. And then somewhere above them is going to be the dog king. Yes. Nobody? No.
And that's who we're here to find on our quest.
No. Stay on topic. Stay on target.
Okay. So I still have the connection to her. Good apartment dogs. Smaller dogs.
Dig it. Yeah. And so...
Dachshunds are great. You should think about those.
And as you kind of sit and I imagine you kind of look at, okay, these are the dogs. This is the kind of concepts that we're trying to point her towards. And go ahead and roll presence. Well, actually, excuse me, we're in the astral. Either whatever your highest power stat is between the two, plus persuasion, to basically try and nudge her into thinking. And at this point you are feeling like you're kind of pushing her into really delving into some of these, this particular breed. Pick one.
I
know you have a condition for empathy. I can't remember if you had I
have
feel
a
like you had
persuasion bonus is what I have written down.
Gotcha.
And a +2 to a mental stat roll. So what the other one says.
Gotcha.
So I will throw my persuasion. I want to save that for when I'm actually in her Neros.
Cool. Yeah. So especially with, that much presence, it for her, you can feel it on her end of like, man, I'm like really thinking about this dog. And like, it's definitely not, like I said, she hasn't ducked down into dreams. This is just kind of flowing thoughts. And all of a sudden she's like fixated. I'm getting another dog. I'm getting a third dog. Heck yeah. I want this dog. And as you're hearing this kind of echoing in the back of your mind, you watch as Leslie kind of steps out, similar to the rest of you, just kind of steps out from the crowd, finds herself looking around and then kneeling down and playing with a dog. And aren't you the cutest?
Aren't you the cutest with the puppers and the toe beans?
Mm-hmm.
She's getting a Dachshund.
Approved.
So can we follow that sort of Tomanos copy of her back to her own Neros?
Basically, yes. What you are now doing is kind of linking with her, and she, the same as you, is in the Temenos, and now it is hitching a ride with her and talking with her and going back with her into the Oneros. So yeah, first steps first. Got to go say hi.
Okay. Yeah, just wander over to also play with these very cute dogs.
There is a massive swarm of, Dachshund puppies because, yes, we never say no to Dachshunds. Where's mine? And, she kind of looks over at you and there is some definite, recognition because, astral Atratus is more or less Atratus. But everybody else is, in various states. Wyrd is a, half-sized DBZ hair,
Fairy.
pixie fairy.
Force pixie.
Got a whole Peter Pan vibe going on.
Yeah,
Right.
I had the same too. What does network look like?
I don't know what network looks like. Actually, no, I do know what network looks like. Network looks like an MMA fighter mixed with like Ryu or Ken from Street Fighter. No?
No.
He's
He doesn't think of himself as the fighter.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
he's a face.
Jimmy thinks of himself that way. Or
No,
Jimmy
he
did.
yeah.
Network now? I don't think so.
He was never a fighter. He was like the promoter.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And his
If
awakening
anything,
was
yeah,
also
he'd be like old Jimmy in Onero's form would be like just tons of gold chains and like
Flashy,
way
sleazy.
over flashy sleazy. Yeah.
Johnny Bravo. I
But
thought, yeah,
this
something
is
like that.
yeah.
Johnny Bravo. That's a throwback.
To my mind, I think just my read on it would be more like a Mrs. Doubtfire, sort of caring about people and looking after, like being aware of the impact he has on others. And
Possibly, I don't think he's that. Mrs. Doubtfire. I don't think he's. Yeah, I don't think he's gone so paternal / maternal. If anything,
I had the
actually,
thought of
probably looks like
more
Daredevil.
along the lines.
Go ahead,
What?
Daredevil. But go ahead.
Oh, the thought I actually had was more along the lines of, not in anime form, but like a hacker kind of, like some sort of like cyberpunk goggles and.
Actually, yeah. Especially now. Yeah, I can see that. Those of you who are watching this right now, hop on Discord, yeetinto.space. Come tell us what you think Network's Onero's looks like. Not Onero's, what his astral projection looks like. Q, I believe we have already established, shows up in Star Trek uniform.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I imagine Dreadnought has a little bit of a like part man, part machine, all badass kind of look. But
Metal arms.
yeah,
Cyborg from Teen Titans.
Cyborg. Well, I was thinking more Jax, but yeah, Cyborg.
We know what
also
the
looks-
Amnion looks like, right?
Oh,
We all
yeah.
agree that it looks like an actual fucking 40k dreadnought, right?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Glory from Shadowrun Dragonfall.
Yes.
Just a big, beefy girl with massive robot arms.
Yep. All of these things, go Google. They're all very good. 40K is a little bit grimdark, but it's also very good. Anyways, yeah, so Leslie kind of looks up and is like, okay. And in the same way, anybody in a dream kind of this is all normal. She's not recognizing that she's in a dream, but she's like, hey, okay, I guess I know you, and go back to my place. Sure, I guess.
I want her to introduce you to her other dogs.
Oh, I like that. Okay, yeah, and that quickly brings, especially considering where her mind is at right now, that quickly brings the guard down of, oh, yeah, sure, come with me, and leads you back kind of, with her, and there's no, like, motion or sense, but I feel like for all of you, like, entering into a sleeper's Oneros is that like press up against something that resists and does not like you, and you find yourselves in, to use the book term, the dream vestibule. This is how the Oneros are supposed to work, and I didn't do it with mages, but this is how they work. And you arrive with her, and for the most part, you all now look more mundane, and just kind of blending in a little bit. Atratus probably looks more or less like herself. Everybody is still in the attire, but kind of adjusted. So Q goes from being in the one-piece set of pajamas to like, a jacket version and pants. You are muted.
You're muted.
We're all in cosplay now.
Yes. In one way or another, or the reference style clothing rather than the actual nerdiness of dressing up in cosplay kind of stuff. And the location itself looks like a giant. Well, not giant. It looks like an airport. More specifically, like you have all just stepped off of the jetway, off of a arriving plane. People are moving about, bustling. There's garbled, unintelligible conversation being spouted out through loudspeakers. And you watch as Leslie kind of looks around and like kind of draws back and goes, "What the fuck is this?" And kind of does a big 180 and looks at like the group of you. Who the fuck are you?
Inception.
More or less, yes. At this point, within the Oneros, you have basically, this is the same as if you guys had brought her in with a Hallow or Domain. This is her in her own Oneros. Actually, let's go ahead and do some intellect plus occult kind of stuff for like, what the hell can you expect and where things need to go.
Any modifiers on this?
If anybody thinks that they have studied Oneros, specifically the sleeper side of things before, take a +2. Otherwise, nope. This is kind of basic.
You give me a bonus on investigation, but can I apply it to this?
Bluntly, if you want to waste it on this, you are welcome to.
No, never mind then.
I got 2.
Also got 2. Network.
Also 2. We are not going to roll for
Your
the
intelligence is better
Phoenix.
than that. Jimmy buffed it, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should
I
have.
just have 2 more dots
two.
for intelligence and
Yeah,
2 more
roll
dots
2
for
more.
wits.
Yeah, that was the other reason why I was like, investigation wouldn't necessarily like.
And also,
The
if your
condition.
presence is higher, that's what you're rolling.
That's also true. Yes.
I got 2 dots in intelligence from Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
You also got 2 dots in presence from me.
Got
Yeah,
them
so-
from network.
No worries. Sorry.
Yeah. You're rolling your power plus your occult.
Using our superhero names.
Very true. Are you going to reroll?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure. Cool. 3 successes. So yes, within the dream vestibule, this is where you guys get dropped off. This is what originally the Victorian house, the little village, and the forge had kind of originally been. And then I said, fuck it, I don't want to go through all the stuff I'm about to put you guys through for everybody individually. And basically this is the landing point for anybody visiting the Oneros. From here, you leave and need to be. It's all as Craig, you love to point out. It's all based on connections and thoughts and stuff like that. So to give you guys some examples, if you hop on another plane, that's travel. Or it's new places, or it's, for Leslie, more work, or whatever connotations that are drawn. There's a couple different places that you could end up, and you don't know where. Now, there is a roll that you can make. It'll be a wits roll to basically try and direct on one specific path, but you won't know if you're actually on that path until like you roll and have already committed, basically. So and then you can look about and investigate the place to kind of have an idea of what places will lead you where. So like right now, as Leslie is kind of staring you guys down. There are up on the big like arrival boards. Some of them are destinations of getting the fuck out of here. Another destination of, oh my god, another convention or another conference, I guess probably. Another one is who the fuck are these people? Different little symbols like that all over the place. And the other thing I will give Wyrd, especially because with that 3 successes, in the next stage, you will be going through bits of memory. And in order to get through those, you will have to experience them yourself or watch them. If you take Leslie with you, she's the one who's going to be experiencing and watching them, while you guys may be affected as well. And none of this is going to cause serious harm. This is like reliving memories or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Upsides, if you take her with you, everything that happens in the dream happens to her. And if you confront some stuff and help like this, and very specifically because of your purpose, you're probably going to need to take her to the thing that messed her up. Mm-hmm. So you will have to guide her to that memory of that night and be like, listen, it's fine. It's cool. This didn't happen. Or, this isn't danger. You will have to help her walk through it. And it may take multiple attempts for her here in her little astral self to get it. But the journey to get to that memory, it could potentially be kind of sketchy. Or you guys go yourself, find that memory, beat it into a pulp and go tuck it away somewhere and just remove it out of her thoughts, which is it basically is repressing her memory for her.
I like doing it the other way, helping her come to terms with that.
Yeah.
It's all up to you guys,
It seems that's a lot less like kicking the can down the road.
Right.
Repressing the memory is just going to end up blowing up on her later.
The dice log in Roll20 isn't scrolling.
Thank you. I was waiting for you to take a breath and then kind of kept going for a minute.
There we go. Sorry, chat.
Okay, so and let's start by introducing ourselves to her and try to calm her down, kind of let her.
I'm a wizard.
Accept us being here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the other thing for your guys' success is she will have no memory of being in her Oneros. This is where she makes the memories, Mm-hmm. The other thing, which all of you know, her daemon is around here somewhere, who, if the daemon thinks that you guys are a threat, this whole place gets way scarier for you.
Yeah, that's why I want to make a good introduction and a good impression, and that we're here to help.
Hey, we're a bunch of wizards. We're here to fuck with your brain. I mean, help your brain get better.
Fortunately, Songbird is not here. It's just Network, who's probably a better people person.
Yeah.
The manipulation side
persuasion says no, but
yeah. Better at reading people at least. So
especially
she can
with bonus empathy.
Yeah. So what were you saying, Ash? Atratus was more specifically introducing herself
to Leslie and just sort of trying to put her at ease and accept that we're here to help.
And as you are talking with her now, you see she's holding this Dotson hot dog across her arm and petting it and just kind of watching and going, you're here to help what? And very confused. She's in this airport. She has a dog. There's these weird folks. Thank you. Yeah, well, throw a roll out of how you want to nudge things along. And this doesn't necessarily need to be persuasion or
I want to just do it with empathy. Just sort of hi, you've been having a rough time? which I know is true, but I don't know if her dream self will
Recognize
accept that I know that, but I got 5 successes.
Would you like to spend a mana and inflict a condition on her?
What will that do?
You get to decide what kind of condition.
I pulled the conditions list. I don't even know them.
Yep. And this is the same kind of conditions and buffs and stuff that Fate could do, or the kind of stuff you guys get from exceptional successes. Is a specific thing that you can do with Mind 4. When you have this level of mind magic, you can, nudge things. Oh, Lord. Perry, get out.
Swooned is one that makes them really like you, right?
Yes, they very like you.
Oh, that's attractive. Like, I want something this. Not in the form of, attraction, but just,
I mean, you could easily swing that because, swoon is attraction, but we could easily nudge it into celebrity kind of, thing.
I just want sort of you like me and trust me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's in this book.
Charmed, but charmed is good luck.
Right. But no, I get what you're after. It's on par with swooned, or, where it's just oh yeah, you really like, and so especially as you come at her with the high empathy of and she's just oh my God, you have no idea. Oh my gosh. Okay. And she immediately you can see the tears welling up in her eyes. She's thank you. I just needed somebody to give me a hug and say it was going to be okay. And just has a moment where she's just crying into your gothic raven hair. And says, okay, cool. All right. How
are you going to help?
Yeah, that she's asking you. Yeah. How are you going to help? What do we do?
We should probably start with where things all kind of took a turn.
Why don't you show us what's been bothering you?
Okay. I don't really remember. And bear in mind, because you're dealing with quiescence here. Mm-hmm. She has no memory of having a weird night at the nightclub. Something weird may have happened at the nightclub, but it wasn't necessarily something that she's going to remember that specific event.
So,
do you know when it started?
It's been a couple weeks now. Yeah, past couple weeks, basically. Even my boss mentioned something. He watches flickering stuff across the board, talking about more work. My boss is an asshole. I deserve a promotion. I need a raise.
So there was a nightclub, right? You wrote a couple weeks ago.
I mean,
or do you go? That happened a lot.
Yeah, it's my regular spot. I mean, me and a couple coworkers go and, drink a little bit and dance a little bit and, And more bluntly to you guys, she's not taking the initiative here. Okay. You're going to have to guide her to places.
Yeah, I'm just going to try to take her to the club where I know this happened.
Okay.
I'm not going to try to explain to her why I know this is it, but I don't think.
Okay. So
that will really stick in her brain. So
right. So that club and that memory, what you're going to have to figure out how to get there.
There's no direct flight.
I was going to go to unwinding. Just we've hit work, thinking about work, after work, relax.
Okay, perfect. So let's do a wits plus composure plus and we'll just have Ash roll this, and we'll just use everybody as a bonus as you guys scout out and been like, I need something for unwinding and relaxing. So take like a plus 3 bonus.
Plus resistance.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Finesse plus resistance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your best on that. Yep.
You said people getting a bonus?
Plus 3, just because basically everybody, rather than doing a teamwork, because let's be honest, if we did a teamwork thing, it's going to be a ridiculous die pool.
3.
Cool. Yeah. So, kind of walking with her and kind of exploring through the airport, trying to find something that really reaches out and kind of sells that unwinding thing, because that's the thing. You spot and realize, well, there's this like little VIP lounge, and bear in mind, this is all in her perspective. So the airport is crowded and noisy, and this isn't a pleasant place, which to give contrast, for me, I love the airport. The place sucks in general, but for me, flying is like a magical experience. Like flying is cool. So I love airports, even if they're shitty. But for her, it's a complete drain. It's complete drudgery. But then there's like this golden door, and it's got VIP lounge across it and stuff like that. And just, it exudes that, man, I wish I could go there, but man, my work never, allows me to fly first class kind of feel. So you spot that kind of walking with her, and you guys, and so that's probably like, that definitely has the possibility of unwinding. But it will probably lead to other places as well, depending on her connotation and what you kind of luck into. To guide that, you need to basically, it's going to be a wits roll. Flat wits.
Just
so in this case,
wits.
or specifically manipulation or finesse. But I think for you,
wits is higher, yeah. 4 successes on 5 dice.
4 successes. Sure. Yeah. And I'll be honest, you're an Ebon Phoenix. Like this is your shit.
Navigating souls. Yeah.
Yeah. And so kind of everybody sticking together, you all kind of move through into, and, you kind of see the little paths of like, there's relaxation, but then there was also like, sleep and rest and, luxury and a couple of these other little things that this place could have led to, and you kind of beeline towards unwinding. And this takes you through, and basically you open the door walking through, and you find yourselves in it's a nightclub, but you immediately recognize this is not the nightclub that you wanted. You guys were at, Bloom, and this place has got Enigma written all over it. A nightclub name generator, thank you. And so immediately recognize that's not it. How many of you are there? 5 of you are kind of not in Twilight, but you're kind of just silent observers for a moment, and you watch as Leslie, who was standing next to you, is suddenly over in a booth with a bunch of, you imagine are her coworkers and friends, that weird crossover where you work together and you're friendly together, and you're probably not the best of friends, but we get drinks together, kind of spot. And again, this whole place is couched in her view of the world. So the music is bright. The lights are bright. Everything here is just absolutely terrific. Her friends are not quite caricatures, but you spot like, okay, there's, this one girl is like the super pretty blonde. She's the prettiest one at the office kind of thing. There's the other brainy girl, and she doesn't wear glasses.
This one's got the tea.
Right. It's all, all these kind of, the accelerated, caricature kind of stuff. And they're all sitting together. You can see the whole spread of the nightclub as it's going on. And basically you are now in a dream scene. In order to move beyond this, you have to play the scene out. Now you can forcefully bail out and find an exit from the scene, which could be right out the front, out the emergency exit, but you are going to follow those to, similar to in the dream vestibule, following that. So you need to go from here to further unwinding, or the other nightclub and stuff like that. And I will admit, guys, this is kind of why I love the astral. This shit is like, yes, your magic can't help you here. This is all just figuring stuff out and throwing, in this case, mental/social dice at it.
If we bail, will she come with us?
You would have to take her along, which, because
I want to stay with her.
Okay, cool. So yeah, for the most part, you guys can just sit and observe this and just watch it all play out. And if you find a place to intervene and step in, basically the scene accepts you as being part of it, and you're going to kind of go off of its script, or you just let it pass through and then you move on to the next one. So are you guys cool observing, or are you going to jump in? Well, obviously, if there's a moment where you need to jump in, you can. But for now,
I'd say just watch this one and let it play out, and then from here try to go to another club.
Sure. Until
we find the right one.
Okay. Which this definitely seems to be like the night that the four of them became a clique. It feels like this is and actually listening into the conversation, this is her memory of it, so it's not perfect, but everybody's getting along, everybody's drinking, they're, cycling around who's buying drinks, everybody's having a good time. There's a couple guys who come over and flirt, and, they send them away, but, they're all pleased that, guys came to flirt. It was a good, it is the very typical, stereotypical girls' night out kind of night, and it's just enshrined in her memory. And you quickly get, this is probably why she hits the nightclub every week. There was this one foundational memory. But yeah, some men come over, flirt, buy drinks. They go out and start to dance, having a good time. And eventually you could feel the whole scene starting to wear down and start to let's head home. They start putting, calling taxis, or, getting Ubers, or, when's the subway running? Those various, situations where it sounds like they're all going to go home. Which, more out of character knowledge, that's not exactly what you want for Leslie.
Yeah. I guess at this point we can step in.
You all can. One of you can. Yeah, because basically at that point you will. Go ahead.
You can push her, right?
Right. You could also mentally nudge her. That's actually true. Would you still have that connection? Yeah, because it's still her. Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you still have actually that same spell. I don't remember what kind of duration you had on that. Let me scroll back up.
I just went for the reach for advance, so it's probably gone, right?
It's advanced. Was it a potency spell?
It's a potency spell.
So yeah, you may have to recast, which is going to have a little bit of paradox, but or you can
go talk to her because we came here with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now here's my question: is it just Atratus stepping in, or is Network? Are you all
Network's on it?
Right, that's kind of what I figured. Are you all going to show up and be like, "Hey, Leslie, let's go to this other place," and try and nudge her along that way? Is that kind of the vibe I'm getting?
If your friends are headed home, why don't the two of us head on out to another club?
No.
What do you mean no? I'm playing my character, god damn it.
I mean, if you want to try.
I ain't got 5 dots of manipulation for no reason.
Okay. Go for it.
Yeah. And like I said, and so, more in character, Network kind of steps into the scene and finds himself, appropriately nightclub attired, and
silk shirt.
Yeah. Sunglasses inside because it's cool, and it's network. Does anybody else also kind of step into the scene as well? Okay.
I'm just gonna say, oh no, he thinks he's got this. We'll see.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, it's up to you. Like,
I mean, how would you react if 5 strangers swarmed you at a bar as you were ready to leave?
Well, and bear in mind,
Badly.
and it's not necessarily strangers, because this is, remember, you're following dream logic here. So while this is her memory, this is all in her dream. So it's that same kind of thing. If you walk up and it's going to be a die roll, but if you're like, hey, we're friends, we know each other, anything like that, the dream will go,
okay.
yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so like you have a lot of flexibility.
Manipulation plus socialize.
Because
so just kind of just worm in and be like, oh yeah, the group of us are going, so if they're splitting up, like, let's keep going.
There's a really great place here, and drop the name of the club we're trying to go to.
Yeah, that's definitely a decent way. And Network has a specialization in socialized
clubbing, even, and also 7 dots of willpower that I'm not going to let just sit here.
Cool. And this is so Network is heading out and probably has verbalized, hey, let's nudge her. Or anybody else joining her? Excuse me, joining him. Or is it?
Atratus said, let's see what he can do. So.
Well, I don't know if Atratus said or if Ash said that. That's why I was trying to clarify.
I mean, I think he's probably got this.
Okay.
I don't think we all need to jump in. Jesus.
Oh, nailed it.
10
Nailed.
Nailed it.
The one you needed. And so yeah, she looks over. And so, what does Network say to her? Just vaguely.
Very much kind of what I already expressed, like just, oh, hey, I didn't see you were over here. Well, like a group of us are heading off somewhere else if you want to tag along. And seems like y'all are kind of winding down things, like point out the check and that kind of thing. And
cool. Okay. Yeah. So, but pulling on that whole, we know each other already kind of vibe. Yeah. Okay. And that's what I figured, but wanted to clarify. And so she kind of looks and she's she's a little rosy cheek from a little bit of booze, but all of a sudden she's like, I'm I don't have to go anywhere tomorrow, and just a little bit of slur to her speech. She's like, I can go support, and like grabs Network's arm and like links arm with a random dream actor who's now, and you find yourself, Network, you and Leslie and a group of friends you don't recognize him, and the way the book puts it is, hey, that's the guy that works at that laundromat, and that's that guy who's an extra in all those movies, and all these different faces populate, and you guys like cruise on out and wave to the coworkers and are thrown through, and go ahead and roll wits for Network.
To take us to the right bar.
Trying to take you to the right bar. Cool. So yeah, with that, the scene kind of coalesces and falls apart as you all kind of step outside, start walking down the street, and the city kind of blurs just this little bit. And you, especially the those of you who are observing, basically feel the shift into another dream scene. For Network, you walk for 20-30 minutes to the next club and just chit chat, and it's all just kind of white noise conversation, and then, oh yeah, here's the place, and find yourself just melding through the line past the bouncer into the bar. And because you were there, Atratus, you were suddenly at the bar with Logan and Alicia. There are people surrounding you. There's like, the place is wild and energetic. And Network, you find yourself back and observing because you were not there. And Atratus, you are there and can feel it may be a little self-conscious for Atratus, well, depending, because you were the center of attention, so you have the whole spotlight effect of everybody's looking at you. Man, your hair was great that day. Like, just all the things kind of pile up. And there's definitely, like, Leslie was not necessarily infatuated with you, not swooning over you, but was like, check her out. Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, let's be honest, most of the nightclub, based on all the stories you heard, everybody noticed you. Yeah. And Leslie is sitting at a table again with those same coworkers and friends. And the mood of this whole place, though, is considerably more... it feels like for it being a nightclub, it feels like the dingy, like sketchy Miami nightclub where everybody's doing cocaine, and there's drug deals over in the corners. And this place has got a little bit of an ominous threat to it. The music is like deep, like there's some Rammstein playing in the background. Like this place is dark. Do host. Yeah, that's all you get from me. Sorry. But it's just that kind of vibe. And Atratus, you know, pulls her wallet out, and like it has this ominous, dark, like pit of emptiness. Like and the whole scene violently shifts and kind of close-in zooms at this empty wallet, and then just there's another $100 bill that comes out, and she just kind of recoils back, and like that. And those of you who are observing can listen to Leslie leaning over to her coworkers. Where is she getting that money from? And just is like fixated on this thing.
So I can't do anything about this, right? Because I am
I mean,
at the bar.
You are you at the bar, but you do not have to follow the script. Same thing with Leslie.
Can I make it look like I am doing sleight of hand tricks?
Okay, let's roll some finesse. Plus, is there an appropriate sleight of hand? Larceny or subterfuge. Because either you're doing it physically or you're doing it by social manipulation.
Yeah, I basically want to make it look like I am doing some Chris Angel shit.
Sure. Yeah. Or well, actually, yeah, with your look. Yeah, definitely. Yep. I actually kind of, let's take a bonus on that. As Atratus leans into, oh yeah, no, I'm a street performer kind of thing, I think, right?
Just appearing money out of nowhere.
Striking looks adds to that sort of thing anyways.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, so let's make that a +3.
Okay.
Because I think striking looks is per dot.
I guess I'll do
right?
subterfuge.
+1 per dot.
Okay.
And a finesse stat, so it's
Yep.
+3.
Mm-hmm.
God, 1?
Whoa! Well,
I rolled so many dice.
Yeah, you rolled 10. You got an appropriate number of successes based on how I roll.
I mean, is 1 good enough?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
1 is always good enough.
Yeah.
It's not sometimes when it comes to like observing things.
When Drew's cheating.
Yeah. And notably, next Chronicle, yes, Drew will be throwing out far more penalties, but because it's not how we've been playing. But yes, one success is all you need. And just there's a little bit more finger motion, and especially because Atratus is actually trying to let Leslie see, which is the big trick, and be like, oh, look, there's just this little nudge of the billfold kind of over, and oh, there's all the hundreds. But, you know, and letting her see the trick as it's done. And Network and Wyrd and Q and Dreadnought, I guess, all can kind of hear Leslie go, oh my God, I see it. I see it. And all of a sudden, like the whole place just shifts just a little bit, where she's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Man, I'm so smart.
Good show.
I saw right through it. I saw how it was done. Did you see how it was done? I saw how it was done. I totally knew he was dead the entire time. When she didn't talk to him in the restaurant, that's when I knew. Yeah. If you get that reference, I'm sorry. But yeah. And quickly, like, okay, yeah, the place lightens. Notably, Logan and Alicia kind of come more towards the fore, and you watch as they don't take on the attire and look of like magicians, like assistants, like flashy, but all of a sudden that's what she realizes. They're
in on it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, all this stuff makes so much more sense for her, and all that stress is just kind of coming off of her. Yeah.
You check the dice log again.
Still not. Why is it doing that?
Why is it doing that? I'm not minimizing it or anything. I wonder if Roll20 has changed something, so it's only my active window. I'm sorry about that, gang. We'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, it should be active. Yeah, so the scene kind of lightens and relieves itself a little bit. It's a shift in the scene.
Was there anything else that was wonky that night that Atratus did, or was it just the endless supply of money?
And that is what you will end up observing and watching, and like that was the thing that she caught, and it was unexplainable. Now coming back through,
it's explained,
right? Because her being super friendly with everybody, that's easy. Like, have you seen her? She looks awesome. She looks hot. It's
probably got 1 million followers on Instagram.
Right, exactly. And she's got her buddies with her. Like, of course everyone's paying attention to her, and of course she's super charming. That stuff easily explained. But the money coming from nowhere, what the hell? And that was the thing that just completely made her snap. Or very specifically had the fugue condition. And as the scene kind of plays out and kind of fades to an end, which notably for her is her and her friends like leaving, because previously this place had been creepy and weird. Now they're leaving. It's like, yeah, we're done with this place. And, leaving.
We've been getting free drinks all night and we're just fucking done.
Yep. And so they, walk back out and the scene kind of collapses. Now here's the big trick. Do you bail, or, while you're in here, do you look for anything further? Do you nudge anything else? Do you
I mostly just want to leave her alone.
Cool.
If we have fixed the thing that was making her upset.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can ask her if she needs help with anything else, because and as the Ebon Phoenix, that's what I try to do, right?
Sure. Okay, cool.
Can we just sort of exit out of the memories and go chat with her again?
Technically, you can't get back to the dream vestibule. The only way to get back to the dream vestibule is to leave the Oneros entirely and come back in. So you have a couple options. One is is following her to the next dream sequence and kind of shaking her out and being like, this is all just a dream, and trying to speak to her normally, or putting somebody else in her shoes and letting her observe. Or the third and somewhat sketchy option is trying to reach out to her daemon.
No, I think I'm good. You want to talk to the daemon?
Be fun. We're not here for fun, though.
We're trying to do a job, which we've done, and I feel like that went really well, and I'm also nervous about screwing it up. So...
Yeah, I would imagine Atratus' thing is, listen, you want to do this to another sleeper, you do it on your own time. This one is on me. fucking flung my
I broke
cable.
her. I fixed her. Let's not break her again.
Right, especially since this is one of the few sleepers that the Concilium is watching to see how she turn out.
Yeah.
Please don't break her any further. Yeah.
Are we sure that this is the only thing?
This was the only thing I did to her.
Right. Yeah, so there might be other stuff, and let's be honest, we all need a little help. But, yeah, specifically the thing giving her the persistent condition fugue, this was the thing that tied and connected to Atratus. She has some other, daddy issues or abandonment issues or any of those other things to address. You could do that.
She can probably bring it up with her actual therapist.
Right. Maybe she doesn't
actual
want to
therapist Atratus.
So yes, with that, I imagine
I was considering spending some of my XP on like the alternate identity and getting the silver letter to actually set me up as a real psychiatrist.
I mean, you have the XP, you have the connections. It's just on you. So I imagine though at this point, as like the scene is kind of ending, and like you reach out and kind of like grab, okay, everybody, all, yeah, and then yanking everybody back out. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So for you guys, while they're leaving out the front entrance, Atratus kind of leans, and it's a wrenching kind of experience as you guys go out the emergency exit and pull back through the astral and guiding back along Atratus's astral path and back to the big Victorian Gothic Addams family house.
Okay, well, went well. I was nervous that it wouldn't. Yeah.
And just to be careful, we should probably check on her.
I mean, yeah. But I think my part of any issues she might have has been solved. And she's probably going to get a new dog, and that's great. That'll make her happy.
She'll at least want a new dog. Because you saw the dog Goche that she put into her Neros. And that said, I mean, Atratus, you have the ability to do, your magic Ebon Phoenix soul marks and actually kind of check up on her mental conditions. So you can go find her in the real world and actually, check up on her should you desire. And with that, it's 7:30. So my thought that delving into Leslie's Oneros might take 2 whole episodes, I have yet again underestimated my players. Because they were like, no, fuck that. We're just going to go to unwinding, which I was like, why did I not think of that being like a thing? I was going along lines of like trauma. Yes, why would we want to go into her trauma? Let's bypass that and go to the fun places first. So again, as I tell every storyteller, every new DM, you're going to plan all you want. The players are going to find the third exit. They're going to Kool-Aid man through the wall. They're just be along for the ride. So as always, thank you for joining us. If you want to come by Discord, that's eatinto.space. Let's hear what you think about Oneros diving. It is something that is very unique to mages. Beasts wish they could do it, but they can't. They can with a mage to help them, I guess. Vampires definitely can't. They can just mentally whammy you, and mages can just shrug that off with a little bit of mana. So yeah, and hey, I don't know, come tell me, what do you think your astral self would be? Because that is such a fun concept, and again, it's a mage only thing. So yeah, come by, hang out with us there, and then if you want to support us monetarily, we have merch at occultanon.threadless, and you have patreon.com/occultistanonymous or staylucky.club. It's the same place for the Patreon type of stuff. Twitch guys, we're going to go on a quick break and be back in about 5 minutes. YouTube guys, we will see you on Friday.
Stay lucky.